We're Team Body Rock, and we're here to help your body rock. I'm Ricky.
I'm Brooke.
I'm Kennedy. I'm Anna, and this is our core program to help with core instability. And it's also going to help ensure that you have proper deadlift form.
So this is our first exercise. It's going to be a VIA. It's a movement exercise. The muscles we're working are your sternocleidomastoid and other cervical flexors. It's going to be in concentric when you're lifting your head, and then it's going to be in isometric as you're like holding that VIA. And other muscles we're working is your rectus abdominis. That's also going to be concentric as you're holding, eccentric as you're lowering. Your external and internal obliques, those are going to work for lateral stability. And then you finally have your erector spinae. That's going to be working for to avoid hyperextension. So she's going to be laying flat, and then she's essentially just going to bring her feet and her hands together and then lower slowly. Some good tips for this one is to keep the chin tucked, the core engaged, and then to maintain a neutral spine so that everything is just in one nice line. And this is mainly going to be focusing on our cervical spine. However, it does target the other areas of the spine as well.
Okay, so the next exercise is farmer's carry, and this is an anti-movement to provide anti-lateral flexion. And this exercise helps stabilize the spine and the quadratus lumborum and also her oblique muscles. So to start, she's gonna grab the dumbbells using her legs, and then she's gonna face this way, and she's standing tall with her neck, head and shoulders square, and then her spine is stacked on top of each other too. And then she's gonna walk 20 to 30 meters. While she's doing that, she's engaging her core, and then those muscles that I had mentioned are all in isometric contraction. So then she's gonna turn around, series of small steps, and then she's gonna walk back while keeping her body stacked on top of each other and square. And this provides anti-lateral collapse. Okay, so the next exercise is a split stance chop, and this exercise helps reinforce lower body alignment and core engagement by engaging the transverse abdominis, rectus abdominis, and the obliques. And then depending on the mass and acceleration of your chop, it can be a high-low movement also. So he's gonna put his right foot forward, left foot back, and making sure that his feet are facing forward, and he's gonna bend to his front knee, and so he's gonna grab his kettlebell. So for the split stance chop, he's gonna inhale as he loads back, and then exhale as he makes that chop across his body. And then you want to be sure in this exercise that it's a core exercise and not an arm or shoulder movement. So after a couple of reps of this, he's going to switch sides. Great. And then he just repeats the same thing, and inhale as he goes down and exhale as he comes up. And this all helps ensure that he's engaging his transverse, rectus abdominis, and his obliques. And the split stance helps with the spinal instability of a deadlift. Thank you.
Okay, so this is called the seated punch out halos. And first what you're gonna wanna do is be seated and have your legs extended out. Your quadratus lumborum will help keep your spine in a straight neutral position. And you're going to want to have the kettlebell parallel to your chest. And then you're gonna wanna punch up and then go around in circles like a halo around your head, ensuring that your elbows go behind your head. And what is working out is your rectus abdominis, your internal and external obliques, and your transverse abdominis. And this is all working isometrically, as well as your scapular stabilizers, which help control the shoulder movement. And then the erector spinae is also working to help prevent bending to the side. This is an anti-movement workout because it is anti-lateral flexion and anti-rotation. So this is called the Around the World, and we're going to be doing it with a medicine ball. First, you're going to want to kneel down with one knee keep your legs parallel. And this will have your gluteus medius, keep your hips stabilized. Then you're going to want to hold the medicine ball parallel to your chest. Bring the ball around your body, over your head, and force it into the ground across the other side of your body. This will work out the rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, and your internal and external obliques. And they work isometrically together. Next, you have your deltoids, which perform concentric abduction and flexion. And you have your erector spinae, which acts as the antagonistic muscle. This is an anti-movement exercise because it is anti-extension and anti-rotation.
The next exercise is leg raises. You can do this either on a machine like this or just hanging from a bar. This is going to be a movement exercise. You're going to work your rectus abdominis as you're bringing your legs up, which you can either have them straight or tucked. It's going to be concentric motion, and then on the way down, her rectus abdominis is working eccentrically. And then you are also working your internal and external obliques. Same thing, on the way up, it's concentric, way down, eccentric. You're working your shoulders, your deltoids, to hold you up and to stabilize you, especially when you're hanging. You're also using your forearms and your lats, and that helps you to keep your spine in a neutral position. Some good tips for this one is just to keep your core engaged and to maintain proper body alignment. And this is mainly focusing on that lumbar region of your spine.
So the next movement that we have here is a barbell row. This is going to be a heavy load movement. Optional, of course, you don't have to put weight on there, but good with weight on it. So in this movement, we're going to see gluteus side, the traps, the deltoids, major and minor, and the posterior deltoids here at work. This is mainly going to be in the cervical and thoracic, so the upper and mid region of the spine. We're also going to see work done by our core, so that's the rectus, that's the transverse abdominis, as well as the obliques, internal, external, and internal. In the movement here, you're going to want to approach the bar, shoulders width, feet shoulder width apart. Pick up the bar here, and the main focus is bringing those elbows fully back. So in the upward movement, that is concentric contraction. So all of the muscles that we talked about in the thoracic regions of the lats, the traps, the delts, and the rhomboids, those are going to be in concentric contraction. And then as they move down, they're going to be in eccentric contraction. And then the core muscles and the trunk will all be in isometric contraction as they work for anti-flexion, so helping your body not completely collapse forward due to the weight. So we're approaching some of our last movements here. So right here we have the good morning hold. This is another heavy load movement. This is for anti-flexion of the spine. So we're going to see a lot of work done here in the lumbar region. So all our erector spinae muscles, so our spinalis, longissimus, and our iliocostalis are all going to be in isometric contraction throughout the entire movement as they resist flexion. And then we're going to have work done in the core as well, also in isometric contraction for stabilization of the body. That's going to be the transverse abdominis. It's going to be the obliques. It's going to be the multifidus as well as the quadratus lumborum. And again, these are all in isometric contraction as they are resisting flexion. So we're going to go ahead and go over here. So as you approach the movement, it's good to remind yourself to not hinge at the waist, but hinge at the hip. So when I go grab the bar, I'm going to hinge myself down to the hip. I'm going to lower my spine. I'm going to feel the contraction in my hamstrings. Once I get that good stretch in the hamstring, I feel the force from my lower back. I'm going to lift myself back down. That'll be one rep, so we'll demonstrate that real quick. So again, we're going to have the bar here, feet shoulder width apart, hinge down at the hip, bring your body down, and lift up. As you go down, you can make sure you're inhaling, and as you're coming up, make sure you're exhaling. That is how you do it morning. So one of our final movements here we have is the back extension. It's in the name. This is for the extension of the back. So in this exercise, we're going to see a lot of work done in the erector spinae. These muscles are going to be in eccentric contraction as your spine is extending downwards, and they're going to be in concentric contraction as they come back up. And then, like most of these exercises, you're going to have your core stabilizer, so your abdominuses, both transversus rectus and your obliques, as well as your quadratus lumborum. These are all going to be in isometric contraction, stabilizing you throughout the movement. So find one of these rigs here at your local gym or any elevated surface. That could be a bench or even just something simple as a table. And you want to have your pelvis and your lower spine laying on the kind of edge of the surface, so that way your upper spine is more free. So in this movement right here, we're going to be using a little bit of weight. You can hold the weight either like this, kind of hugging it, or you can flex your elbows and bring those all the way back and hold it like that. So in the movement, you want to make sure that as you are eccentrically contracting on the way down, that you're controlling yourself. You don't want to let the weight pull you down or your own body weight bring you down. You want to make sure that you're controlling yourself down through the movement, really feeling it in your spine, feel your spine extend. And then as you hit the bottom and you hit full eccentric contraction, you're going to concentrically attract all the way back up, straight through the movement. Yeah, this is back extensions.
Rock your body.